Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is me, Kim, your a farm hunter. And of course, ang daming ang iskandalong nangyari sa Mr. Grand International. And the videos and photos went viral. So let's try to address the issue and of course, spill the teas. And we're having some tea here and it says, I like it for when it's burning hot. So while the issue is still burning hot, let's talk about it. So I was invited to cover for this show as I am a pageant insider nowadays. So yun na nga, since friend ko din si Uno, I've met the president of Mr. Grand International in Supra, and then we covered R&B Spain as well. So ayun, I was invited to go there. So I arrived in Seville because that's where the initial part of the competition will start on January 8th. And that was the time also where the candidates started to arrive. And from Seville, the next day, we needed a very big bus to cover all the travel, arrangements from Seville to Huelva and from Huelva to other places of the competition. So Uno said that they have paid 3,000 euros. I saw it with my eyes as well. 3,000 euros for the bus to cover us from 11 to 11 in the night. And it's like a taxi that will bring us anywhere. So on the second day, it was okay. We had photo shoot in Plaza España in Seville. And then after that, we went directly to have lunch and traveled to Huelva, which is another city. So when we arrived to Huelva, we went directly to the lunch area. And then it was raining that day. So that's why there was like a very cold morning, and of course it was like muddy onto the road. I thought it was near, but it was like a little bit far in a very secluded industrial area. And we went to a barn that they have rented because they think that it would be like a place to cover the whole people. But it was really far from the road, so we had to walk in that muddy situation. And then when we arrived there, we were expecting that Spain delegation as the host country will cover all the food expenses. And it will be okay because they said that it is already arranged and everything. But when we arrived there, we had like packed Spanish omelette and empanadas and some other stuff bought from the groceries and just cut in front of us. And I was like, it wasn't enough for lunch at all. It seems like from the morning, and then we had lunch almost 4 o'clock. The people were very hungry. So, okay, it was like the first meal that we had. So we cannot just really complain anything because we were just like, especially I was just invited to go there. So the sashing ceremony happened in the evening. And then after that, we went back to the hotel. And then when we arrived at the hotel, there were like 16 boxes of pizza for like 40 people. And I realized that why there's no drinks. They didn't even buy some drinks or water to accompany the 16 boxes of pizza. And I was like, oh my God, this is like not enough and unacceptable for an organization to do this. So that is when the time I said like, okay, I will try to ask since I can speak Spanish to the people who arrange the food service for the whole people. And I tried to talk to them to, bring better type of food and to do pack lunch better because we don't want to go back to the barn, and at least like 1 bottle of water for each person. So according to the conversation of Uno and Asier promised that the food was already covered and there were even restaurants trying to sponsor. So, and he had all the money that was collected to provide the food for the rest of the people. But since on the second day again, he said that the food will be like meat with some French fries and egg. And he said that it's difficult to do it in a packed lunch because there's like sauce. We will go back to the barn again, which we agreed that it's okay. We can go back to the barn because of the type of food that, he's trying to make. And I was like trying to tell him that hopefully this time it's okay. That was like 1 bottle of water per person. And then it was already arranged before we arrived there and stuff like that. And he said like yeah, okay, we will try to comply to that. But when we arrived there, it was still the same situation. So the meat that he was talking about was like a potato soup with more potatoes and less meat. And also the hard-boiled egg was like included into a pasta with some sauce. And the leftover omelette and empanadas from yesterday. And I was like, oh my God, this is not acceptable again. And Aser just said sorry because he didn't know what type of food that they were cooking. They were just like telling him the food that they're trying to cook, and it was not the same description that was given to us. But anyways, starting from there, I told Uno that this is not gonna go forward like that because it's embarrassing for the candidates who paid for their franchise fees, and then they will be eating like those type of food. And I said that you should ask your organization to provide for dinner so that Asier will only be providing at least one of the food, probably lunch, and we will try to compensate for dinner. So we tried the first 2 nights of dinner in the hotel with a set menu of starter, main course, and dessert, and of course, water included. So here comes the issue already. So the first judging part will be the national costume show the next day. And then that's when we saw the tabulation sheets that most Spanish judges were giving Asier 100 score, while the rest of like the strong contenders like Mr. Lebanon or Thailand was like given 75. And like there's a score disparity of that in order for them to manipulate the scoring. So Uno tried to tell them that please be objective in your scoring the next time because it shows that you're trying to build just one candidate. And that's why Spain was like part of the top 6 on every competition and segment. It's because of that. So we changed the way how the judging will work. It's not gonna be scoring anymore from 100 to 75 or 50, but rather it would be like choosing who's your top 6, who's your top 12. So it's like a voting system. So you don't need to put the disparity of the scores anymore. So of course, having like almost 6 judges, like half of the judging panel because they were like 13. So Spain really did make it into 16 and 12 because even into the voting process, of course he will make it there. But if I were the judge, I wouldn't put him there either because there were so many candidates that's deserving for the top 12 rather than him. But of course, because of the manipulation of the judges, surely he will enter into the top 12. So now here comes the top 6. So in the top 6, some of the judges from Spain already vote objectively, and some of them even not voted for him to be part of the top 6. And then that's why they were angry and they wanted to see the tabulation. And Alba, the girl who wanted to see the tabulation, Mama Pebs, who's the tabulation committee, showed her the tabulation sheets that Asher didn't make it into the top 6. That's why they were very angry and stormed into the stage to stop the show and said that you have to go out from this theater. So that's why when Macarena, the daughter of the mayor and the daughter of the chief of police, called her dad to come, and the police arrived, and then they were told to go out of the venue. So that's when we continued to doing the show. And then even though there was like a scandal that happened, we continued the show and then we finished the show. And we told the guys to pack up fast and take some pictures fast. We actually didn't have the time to take pictures with a lot of people. It's because we wanted to go home directly. There was even a threat to physically harm some people, Uno, the winners of the show. And also some of the girls were like heard in the bathroom saying that if Asier, Mr. Spain, will not make it to the top 6, that they will really close the theater and, cause a commotion. So it was already planned if that Asier will not make it into the top 6, that they will do that. My God.